back to Cali, to Cali, to Cali. I'm going back to Cali to cover the boys. I'm going back to Cali, to Cali, to Cali. I'm going back to Cali to cover the boys. Hello friends, Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Jobu, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Jobu Sports Report, because without you guys, well, I'd be drowning my sorrows with the Dallas Cowboys by myself. And for all of you out there who've gotten a Jobu shot glass, man, maybe we just need a tumbler this size, because these suspensions are driving me crazy, man. I hope you guys like the beginning premiere of our Going Back to Cali video that I'm working on. Unfortunately, I have a day job. Well, no, fortunately, I have a day job, but unfortunately, I don't have as much time as I'd like. So I've been working on that all week, and I just want to give you guys a preview of it because we are going back to Cali to cover the Cowboys, and I will be there in less than 2 weeks, and I can't wait. We're going to be there on Thursday and Friday. Then we're going to go to the Rams game in Los Angeles, so we'll have some highlights and everything else directly from the stadium, and try and do a little tailgate, just kind of a mini one, because I'll be flying out there and I can't take all the stuff that I would like to. So before I go any further, grab your shot glass, everybody, because Lord, we all need a refill, and I got to tell you, Jobu's been hitting it hard today. This is almost insane, the amount of suspensions that we have on our team. In fact, I think I need to pour me a little refill over here too. In fact, Jobu, we got to go to the liquor store tomorrow. It's insane the amount of suspensions we have on our defense. And as I sit here and wonder, and I've been thinking about it, because you guys know I always try and find the positive part. Try and find us something that can give us some hope. Something to hang on to, because as we hear, David Irving, oh my God, that guy's not going to be there for the first 4 games, Then we know that Damian Wilson, he's not going to be there for probably the first 4 games, when they come out with that suspension. And then you say Nolan Carroll, he's going to be gone at least 2 games, maybe 4, for the drunk driving. And now we got Dirty Moore Stew. He's dirty. And I'm just sitting here like, oh, God, that's 4 players on the defense. But then I say, hold on for a second here. David Irving didn't become a starter until the end of the season. Okay. So the defense played well without him. And we can throw out that playoff game because our defense really didn't play that well, especially the first half. Okay. Dirty Moore Stew, we didn't have him on our team last year, and he doesn't have that great of numbers. Now, granted, he's got more sacks than I think anybody else on our team, but that's just because of his longevity. Okay. All right. Damian Wilson, he wasn't exactly a full-time starter for us before, and I think he only has 30-some tackles? 38, 39 tackles in his career? Okay, all right. That gives me a little bit of hope. Nolan Carroll. Okay, Nolan Carroll. Well, he just got here from Philadelphia. He fits our system better than he does in Philadelphia, but he wasn't a starter last year. Okay, all right. So we're hitting hard on our defensive ends. And one of the things that's driving me crazy is as you read everything, these articles, they talk, try and make you feel as bad as possible, because they say 3 of their pass rushers are suspended. It's like, okay, we got Moore. We got David Irving. I'm like, who else is suspended? Randy Gregory. Okay. Do we really count Randy Gregory? The guy who only played 2 games last year because he was already suspended? I mean, I honestly, in my mind, it doesn't really register as a loss on this year because we never really had him. But, the media is going to put it out there that, Cowboys are missing three of them. Yeah, well, sorry. He hasn't exactly done anything in the time he was here other than get high. So I don't know unless they change the drug policy if he's ever going to be at the team. So I don't count that. So then I start thinking, okay, so what do we do now? What do we do now? What do we do now? Well, Tyrone Crawford has got his shoulder together. He had an off-season surgery, and he's been productive at times when healthy. Okay, so we got him for an edge rusher. All right. And he should be good for a few games at least. And then there's DeMarcus Lawrence. Oh, man, I forgot about that guy. Now, last year was a disappointment because he only had one sack, but he was hurt all of last season. And he actually looked really good in OTAs. And he did have those 8 sacks 2 years ago. Okay, so we can throw that guy out there. Then I started thinking, I've been hearing about the speed that Topper has been having coming off the edge. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, Topper. You got Collins there in the middle. Okay, all right. It doesn't sound quite as bad as it's being made to be. It's not quite the doom and gloom that we have. Because there's also Stephen Paya, excuse me. I'm a name butcher because that's what I do. So we got Stephen Paya. Okay. All right. So we got somebody else we can do. So we have some bodies to go in there. So maybe it won't be as bad as it sounds on paper. Because none of these guys were really full-time starters for the Cowboys. Some of these guys weren't even on the team last year. Okay. That gives me a little bit of hope. Now, I hope we don't have any more suspensions. But this one seemed like it came out of left field. So it kind of bothers me a bit with the NFL. The way we just get this trickle. Now, I've been saying for quite a while, and we'll find out if I'm right or not, that the NFL won't suspend Zeke. That is cutting off your nose to spite your face. That would be opening up Pandora's box because he's just been accused of domestic violence. Those other situations have nothing to do with the domestic violence. And the other things don't have anything that are themselves something that's suspendable. But if you suspend him and say it's because of domestic violence where there is no evidence of anything, none. There's witnesses that say she's lying and ask me to lie for her. There's not one person that says, other than the alleged victim, that he did anything to her. And there's no other cases that have come out of the woodwork that have said, yeah, he used to beat me. So they can't suspend him on that one. And if they were going to do it, it would have been done today. They won't wait till the week before the season starts to suspend him. And they won't do it next week with the Hall of Fame game and Jerry Jones being inducted, because that opens up the possibility of Jerry having the platform and everybody watching to blast the NFL. So that won't happen there. Like I've always said, that we're just going to keep this open to keep it over his head to try and make him think. And maybe that's what he needs. Maybe he needs to understand that I just need to stay the hell out of the club. Unfortunately, I'm going to get blamed for anything that happens. Flat out. So I don't think he's going to be suspended. But again, what do I know? I'm a guy with a day job and a voodoo doll. Whew. So thus far, we don't have any major injuries just yet. Now, we got minor ones. We got hip flexors. We got some tweaked hamstrings. But that's all to be expected because it's beginning of training camp. The Cowboys aren't practicing today because they've already had those practices this week. You let that body recover. That first week of being in training camp, and if you haven't played football, you won't know what I'm talking about. But you can be in fantastic shape. I used to run track. Believe it or not, I tried to become a decathlete, okay? I mean, I think back to what I used to could do with this body, and I'm disgusted when I think what I can't do anymore. But I could run, 3-4 miles like that, no problem. I could sprint like crazy. Boom. Run the 400 meters, run the 200, the 100, throw shot put discus. But it's not the same as playing football. There's football shape because your body is used to exploding for literally 4 or 5 seconds all out. And then getting about a 30, 40-second break and then doing the same thing again. It's very, very difficult to take that abuse, to do those hits and things like that you physically have to be out there doing it. One of the things that, to me, has hurt football is the new collective bargaining agreement. That agreement, which was written by more of the veteran players, which is why a lot of these rookies don't get paid jack. But one of the things they did was they shortened training camp. They shortened the number of actually padded practices, and they shortened the amount of hitting. Tackling sucks now because they don't tackle. If you go to training camp, you won't see anybody go to the ground. You know, when we used to play football, man, we are live morning practice. We are live afternoon practice. We're hitting the sled. We're doing one-on-one drills. We're doing offense, defense. I mean, we're physically hitting and pounding. By the end of the day, your head hurts from all the contact and the heat. They don't do that anymore. So getting out there that first week and your body's back to now hitting, even though you've been running around, you start getting those aches and pains and those little things that you don't get from just doing OTAs, lifting weights, running, and not having pads on it. So you need a day like today to just kind of recover, let your body get used to it. And that's why I'm a proponent of making sure that guys get to camp and work out. I don't believe that you can just show up and start playing. Tony Romo has been great at doing that because it's out of necessity, because his body has been jacked up. But it's better that we have everybody there able to work out, to work on the timing, to work on the practicing, to work on getting their bodies ready for that marathon. So that's how I feel about that. The takeaway from this week's practice is the defense, even though we're going to have some guys suspended, seems to be really flying around at the ball. And I love that. The defense is getting takeaways. Now, before everybody panics about the offense, understand the offense is so much more complex than the defense. Generally speaking, your defense is going to play better starting the year than your offense because the offense has so much to learn. So many different calls they have to make at the lines, between the looks. The quarterback's going to be up there changing the plays. They have a lot more to digest. Their book is this thick, if not thicker. Defensive ones, a lot thinner. You got a lot less things you have to do. You've got gap control. So, listen, I'm a defensive lineman. I got this gap. That's all I got to worry about. You're an offensive lineman. You're thinking, okay, the original play is called. I'm going to be blocking over here. All of a sudden, the quarterback comes out and he makes that guy's the Mike linebacker. Okay, so now that means I got to go over here. Then the center starts making a call, and the call starts changing. Okay, so that means actually I got to block down here. Okay, we're going to change the call. We're going to go to shotgun. So now all of a sudden, I'm thinking about what was the snap count. Okay, we're changing that up, and we're going on a movement. So there's a lot more to think about in the offensive line. So you're hesitating in the beginning of the year as you start to learn all this stuff, and the defense usually has to jump on it. So don't panic about the offense. So I still feel really good about seeing that kind of action and stuff, something we did not have last year with the past guys we had in there. We did not see a lot of takeaways. We did not see a lot of aggression. We did not see a lot of young guys that are flying to the ball. So with that being said, let me get to some of your questions, and I want to thank everybody for joining us in here tonight, because without you guys, this just wouldn't happen. Guilford Hall. Don't remember seeing that one. That's a new name that I've seen. Welcome to the show. John Montgomery, welcome. Eric Olson, Derek, John Montgomery, Tobias, Cowboy sign, Luke McCown. Okay. All right. That we basically had to, since our third string quarterback is definitely gone for the season with back surgery. Okay, that's interesting. So we'll see how he does. At least it's a veteran. Can't say that he's going to be able to do a whole heck of a lot, but that's not a bad signing. Well, here's the thing, Curtis, with Collins. Collins, I'm going to tell you, is going to be a fantastic right tackle. I think that he has an opportunity to be a Pro Bowl player because he is that good. The strength that guy has, the size that he has, and for him to trim down being back at his natural position that he had in college as right tackle. I mean, you looked at what he did as a guard his rookie year. He was a beast. So understand that defensive ends coming into the NFL, very rarely are they really good. It usually takes a year or two for them to get their legs underneath them and start learning how to play. Right now, he is in the best spot he can be in because he is practicing against the best. And I mean the best offensive line. Now, if you're going against Tyron Smith, you're going against Collins, you're going against Zach Martin, Travis Frederick, you are going against guys that are better than anybody you will play during the season. So what that's going to do is that's going to make you a better football player, and I got to like it. I mean, you got to love it. But understand, he's still a rookie. He's still got a lot to learn, and we're only 4 days into practice. Give the guy some time to learn because your head is just swimming right now with all the information that's been thrown at you. You are now in the pros. You're a Dallas Cowboys. You're at camp, your first professional camp. So just relax. Give these guys time because we're only talking about practice. Not a game yet. We're talking about practice. All right, so that being said, let's get back to some more of our questions in here. Damontre Moore. Okay, listen, Cowboy family, understand I'm a name butcher. That's what I do. I'm going to screw up names left and right. When I read names off in here, I'm going to screw them up. It's just what I do. Forgive me. I'm not perfect on that stuff. Argentina, Tobias. Hey, welcome from Argentina. Shout out to you guys. We are definitely all over the place. Well, as far as running backs going, signing the other guy that we signed, a lot of people will think that it's because we're going to lose Zeke Elliot, and I say no. He is basically going to be depth for the team and basically replacing. God, I'm in a bit of a fog, guys. I only had 4 hours sleep last night, so forgive me if I'm a little bit off tonight. But he's basically going to be an extra body because if Zeke goes out, it's going to be Darren McFadden and Alfred Morris, and that's one of the reasons why we're still holding on to Alfred Morris. But you still want to have somebody else in there learning your system. Oh, Bobby Carpenter. We're not talking about Bobby Carpenter, one of the biggest busts we've ever had. The only time Bobby Carpenter ever looked good was when he was with the Lions playing against Tony Romo. Ooh, we're really going back here. Michael, what's happening? We are talking about the Dallas Cowboys and our offseason woes that just seem to keep happening even though the season is here. And I'm still trying to hold on with only about 4 hours worth of sleep last night and making sure that we get this show going and that everybody has a great time tonight. Do we have money to still sign players? Oh, we still have $17 million of cap room. We actually have a lot more cap room than anybody else in our division. So money-wise, we are in a great position. And the nice thing is there's still some players that are out there. You don't want to sign them just yet because if you sign them now, you're going to be tied in for the season as far as their contract goes. Thank you, Billy Sarducci. Yeah, Barry Church. I put a little video out before we started this tonight. Like I was saying, he's like every other Dallas Cowboy player that has left because it seems like everybody who's gone to the Redskins, like Jason Hatcher, badmouths the Cowboys. They always talk about how they don't practice the same as we do here and how much they love it here and how much talent we have. Yeah, how much did Jason Hatcher do with the Redskins? Did they go to the playoffs or anything? No, they didn't. But when Barry Church says there's more talent in Jacksonville than there was in Dallas, if that statement is true, then they are the biggest underachievers in the world ever. We're talking about 13-3 for the Cowboys and 3-13 for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And it's not like the Jaguars play in a tough division, mind you. Okay, Eric, so you checked out EDP. Yeah, EDP is a little bit out there. I don't know what happened, but it seems like all his old videos are gone and he's back now. Looks like he's lost some weight. I don't know if he got banned from all the cussing and stuff like that. EDP is definitely a trip. In fact, I would almost like to meet him in Philadelphia and talk some trash with him. Yeah, he's definitely out there. The way he always complains about the Eagles and just F this, kiss my that, blah, he's a trip. Um, what's happening, Robert A. Man? Chuck Baby, Ryan Switzer. Um, he might not be the next Captain Hamstring. Well, let's hope that Angry Tide bleeds. Ryan Switzer's hammy's not real bad. They're going to probably take it easy on him. Who are the Cowboys going after? They might want to look at a pass rusher, if you ask me. That's where I really, God, I'm going to sound like a broken record, but I really wish we had gone after, didn't have the money at the time, Calais Campbell, because I swear that would have been a guy who not only is one hell of a player, but is also a great influence on the field and off the field. And I think a guy like that would have been good for our team to take another step to help mentor these guys and things like that. So that's the thing I think that's missing with this team is leadership. I keep thinking, God, I hate to go here with this, but Jason Garrett, I hope will start trying to grab this team by the reins. We had the whole Lucky Whitehead situation where they did the right thing and we're going to get rid of him, and then we found out that actually it wasn't him on that one. That's not to say that Lucky was going to make the team, but everybody knew what you were doing is you were just using him as the scapegoat, the sacrificial lamb. The move to say, we're doing the right thing, but you still have other guys that have other issues. And that's the thing that bothers me is I'm just not sure about Jason Garrett. I look at the talent that we put in on the field. The Dallas Cowboys have drafted over the last 5 or 6 years more Pro Bowl players than anybody else. I know Jason Garrett was Coach of the Year because a lot of people are going to say, Mark, you're talking about the Coach of the Year. But I challenge you guys to tell me one thing, just one thing, that Jason Garrett did that directly won a game for us. I'll wait. Still waiting. Hire Butch Jones. Jeff Heath should start. Well, he's definitely going to get an opportunity to make that start and roll. We'll see how it goes in camp. So far, I haven't heard a whole lot about him in camp, but we'll see. See, here's the thing, Curtis. It's not that I'm not a fan of his. He's a nice guy. Met him. But I don't know if he's been cut off at the knees from Jerry Jones. But I'm not sure he has it. There are a lot of guys that you really like, that you really root for. Marty Schottenheimer was a guy who you couldn't tell me he couldn't coach, but for whatever reason, just couldn't do it in the big games. Tony Romo, another guy. Tony Romo's had some incredible games, an incredible career. But for whatever reason, you have the regular season numbers, then you have the playoff numbers. And they don't match up. I don't know what it is, but when we've been in those 8-8 seasons, winning we're in, we just don't seem to be ready for them. When we had Green Bay before, we had the Dez no catch, no catch. When maybe on 4th and 1 we should have run the ball. And everybody will say, oh, that was Tony Romo. But then people will say, don't blame Tony Romo. But whatever the reason, even if Dez had caught that pass, we would have scored too quick. And we've seen
one hell of a job. And the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys?
Thank you, Jacob Martin. And I actually like hearing that one. John Gruden, here's the thing. Like I was saying, that you have some coaches that are great coaches regular season, but they just can't seem to win the big ones. Norv Turner was kind of in that mix. Norv Turner was a good coach. He could definitely do offense as an offensive coordinator, but just couldn't get over the hump. John Gruden announcing that he's preparing a comeback. That would be interesting because, see, John Gruden is one of those coaches who can take a team to another level. but he can't build a team. When he got to Tampa, he took a team that was already there that just couldn't get over the hump. Had great players, great defense, but they couldn't get over the hump. They couldn't win cold games. Tony Dungy got the talent there, but they couldn't get over the hump. John Gruden got there. He got him over the hump and got him a Super Bowl ring. But as those players aged out, and he was the architect to build the team, couldn't build the team. That's where we are with the Dallas Cowboys right now. You got a stud running back if the NFL doesn't suspend him. You got a young quarterback who's proven he can play. You got a great offensive line. You've got good receivers. You've got a defense that has some talent that needs to take another step. A John Gruden, I like a guy who gets in people's faces. I like a guy who holds people accountable, that gives you that look that you fucked up and I'm going to cut you out when you get here. That's me because I'm old school, because I got used to being cussed out if you messed up. When there was film session on Monday, and you knew I missed that block, what is my grade going to be? Oh, I'm going to get yelled at. Too many times, Jason Garrett to me feels like a Little League coach. That's okay, Johnny. We'll get him next time. Here's your participation trophy. Yeah, but we're not Little League football. We are the NFL, and it's do or die. Show me some fire. Jason Garrett, I want you to be successful. I want you to go to the Super Bowl. I want you to prove me wrong. And I want to see some emotion on the field. Every press conference after we lose, I'm still mystified from the press conference after the Green Bay game. We got smiles. I'm proud of our team, how we competed, you know. Zeke Elliot played fantastic. Dak had a great game, and you know, and I'm just like, you're smiling. I know when I lost a game, I'm ready to cut somebody out. Even right now, don't let me lose. I get pissed. You know, the Bears are who we thought they were. But playoffs? Are you kidding me? No emotion. No excitement. No fear to the players. Like I said, I'm old school. I'm going by what I know. And I think we could use a little bit of that ass kicking on this team. But again, that's just me. Hey, Jackie, how are you doing tonight? Yeah, and I tell people with Taco, first thing, he's a rookie. It takes time to develop. And you're going against the best offensive line in football. And we're in practice. So give it some time. Don't go ahead and say he's a bust right now because we are still in the first week of training camp. I'm not saying that Collins won't be good, though. Okay, Holy Ways. Yeah. You know, it's amazing how we have Eagles and Giant fans in here just as hard as Cowboy ones. Oh, I don't know. Okay, now if you're Cowboy Legends for life, I'm not sure you can compare Jason Garrett to Bill Belichick. Now, Bill Belichick, you may not see it on TV, but Belichick gonna put a foot in there. Belichick lets you know if you screw up, I'll get you the hell out of here. Oh, you want a bigger contract? I'll send you to Cleveland. No, believe me, Bill Belichick does not put up with any crap. You'll be gone in a heartbeat. And it doesn't matter who you are. You can be a Pro Bowl guard during training camp and get shipped to Tampa Bay. He don't care. You think any of our players have that fear on the Cowboys? Look what Greg Hardy did to that team. Look what Rolando McClain got away with on the team. I don't feel like practicing today. I'll just go ahead and hang out in the weight room. Randy Gregory went after a coach, sideline. How many times have you seen Jason Garrett when there's trouble with the guys that's having problems? How many times have we seen somebody get in some off-field problems? We don't hear about them talking about them until a week later, and all we hear is, I'm very disappointed. I'm sorry. That's how I feel. If you feel that Jason Garrett is a great coach and is like Bill Belichick, that is your opinion, and you are more than right to have that opinion, but I just don't agree with that. Very good point, Jackie, about Taco. Just pump the brakes, and we'll see how he develops. Give the guy time. When you look at somebody like, say, let's use Anthony Brown, for example. Anthony Brown got thrown into playing time, and the first half of the season, he was okay. But by the end of the season, believe it or not, the last 7 or 8 games of the season, yards given up per completion, he had the lowest in the NFL. That's right, the lowest in the NFL. His development just shot through the roof. And this is a guy nobody expected much from. So give it time, and we'll see where it goes. I wouldn't say any of these guys are, sure shots. And I'm not going to say any of them are going to be busts. At this point, it's too early to tell. Because sometimes with football, all of a sudden, it just clicks and becomes easy. And you never know when that light bulb is going to come on. So, don't get down on guys yet. Give them a chance, and we'll see where we go from there. Don't even, Ultimate Warrior fan, don't even put stuff out there like that. Don't use Awuzie and Brandon Carr in the same sentence. Don't jinx the poor man, please. Damn, that just gave me chills. No, I think Awuzie's going to be okay. I'm actually happy that Jordan Lewis now has his off-season drama off of the table now that his case has been dismissed. I think these young guys are going to have some struggles. There's going to be some times when they look bad. But I like young, athletic guys. Throw them into the fire. Let them learn and let them develop. I'd rather see that than see another year of what we've had the past 5 or 6 years. If you think Brandon Carr is all of a sudden going to change and become a Pro Bowl corner, he's not. If you think that Morris Claiborne is all of a sudden going to stay healthy and become a Pro Bowl player, he's not. If you think that these guys that haven't been able to get interceptions over the last several years are now all of a sudden the light bulb's going to come on and they're going to start doing it, I don't think they will. That's why you have to change and try something else. If it doesn't work, then you try something else on top of there. But in the NFL, if you're not getting better, you're getting worse. Mark, since when has Scheffner become a clickbait whore? Oh, I think Scheffner's been a clickbait whore for a long time. When you guys may remember back when Dez Bryant was trying to get his contract, and you had Mike Farella come out and say, there's rumors out there that there's a Dez Bryant tape that may be 10 times worse than Ray Rice. You said nothing, but you said a whole lot. Because the takeaway is, most people aren't going to hear there's a rumor out there that there may be. Well, there could be a tape of any one of us out there. There could be. Doesn't mean there is. The takeaway that people took was there's a tape out there of Dez Bryant that's worse than Ray Rice. And that ultimately is what's happened to Zeke Elliot. He's been investigated for domestic violence, so everybody thinks he's a domestic violence abuser. That's the takeaway. Adam Schefter was turned around and asked, well, what do you know about this? Oh, well, I've been spending a lot of time on this. So when you say you've been spending a lot of time on it, that implies that there's a lot that you're looking into, that you must know something and you're working on a story. I think the whole Zeke Elliot thing of, we're hearing that there's going to be a suspension of Zeke. Well, has it? Do you really think that? Or is it just the NFL is just taking their time and you're just putting it out there? Because there's lots of stories that if you go through that gets put out there and these guys are never held accountable for it. I mean, most times you can't pick a game from this week to next week, much less that, you're picking Super Bowl teams or you're saying this, that, and the other. Nobody holds them accountable. That's one of the reasons why after the Lucky incident happened, because I got sucked into the whole thing as well. I reported out there Lucky shoplifted. And I'm like, if you did that, that's the dumbest thing that's possible. I can't believe that an NFL player would do something so stupid. I owe him an apology. I was wrong. I reported something that wasn't right, and I want to say, hey, I'm big enough to say I screwed up with that. And I wish that we had more of that going on out there, because what happens is you run people's name through the mud. Everybody talked about Jordan Lewis, his stock dropped because, he's going to court for domestic violence. That was put out there all through the draft and everything. But they're not putting it out there that he was exonerated in the same fashion. So what you're left with is Jordan Lewis. He fell in the draft because he was beating his girlfriend. So I wish we had more truth in reporting, and I wish we had more of these guys that would actually own up to their own mistakes. But I don't think that's going to happen. I won't exactly call him that, Tony King, but okay. Carson Wentz, that's going to be an interesting one. I can't wait to actually see him on the field. And this is just me personally. I don't think I put out there last year that I thought him and Jared Goff would both be bust. It started out early in the season. It looked like I was way off, but he started digressing, and now he's actually got some weapons around him. It's going to be interesting to see what he does with that team. Yeah, and Jalen Smith, that's one of those things that drives me crazy is how everybody talks about how Carson Wentz is such a great quarterback, and how much better he is than Dak. But I'm kind of like, really? And I keep hearing the dink and dunk quarterback situation, and when people start talking about Eli Manning, oh my God, ESPN and NFL Network, they're saying that Eli Manning's going to be the quarterback of the NFC East this year. I'm like, yeah, okay. That will be interesting, Mr. Turnover Machine himself. Assault with a deadly pillow. Yeah. The funny thing about that case was, I can't remember the guy's name who was actually there covering, and he was tweeting out everything on there. I'm not a lawyer, and I don't play one on the show here, but when I started hearing some of the stuff that he was putting out there, it's kind of like, this is going well for Jordan Lewis. Once I heard the policeman say that her statement was he had her on the floor and was choking her for 3 seconds. That's what she said initially. Then later, when she gave testimony about it, she said, no, he didn't choke me. So wait a minute. You said he choked you for 3 seconds, but then you said, no, he didn't choke me. That's a pretty big thing. You kind of remember being choked. And the police said there were no visible cuts, scratches, or anything visible. And if you're telling me that an NFL player choked you where you gasped for your breath, there would be some kind of marks on your neck. I'm just saying. There would be some scratches on him because you'd be up there clawing and scratching and so forth. At least in my mind. I could be totally wrong, but it just didn't seem right in there. And I was like, okay, to me, everything you said now goes out the window because you contradicted yourself. And that's why I think Jordan Lewis didn't even take the stand, because she's already incriminated herself in that situation. So thank goodness that's out of the way. We had Jordan Lewis back in practice yesterday. He was fielding punts and things, and we'll see how that goes. I think they're going to take the time bringing him in here since he missed so much. ESPN is the devil. Cancel cable. Okay. That's funny. Who's worse, Adam Schefter or Stephen A? Well, Here's the thing. I actually say, Stephen A., you know what you get. Stephen A. realizes this. I'm making a name of myself by being a loudmouth talking about the Dallas Cowboys. As much as he says he hates the Dallas Cowboys, I believe he's a closet Dallas Cowboy fan. Evidence of this is first week of the season, they're going to be in Dallas. He calls attention to Dallas Cowboy fans all the time. Why? Because he says something crazy out there. What's the first thing that happens? We said, man, you hear what that idiot said, Stephen A. Smith? He said blah, 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 blah about the Cowboys. We're talking about it. The other teams that hate the Cowboys. Man, did you hear Stephen A. Smith busting on the Cowboys? Man, that shit was hilarious. He knows he's got the perfect audience. He can't lose with whatever he says. He's going to get the clicks. And that's where sports reporting has gotten to now, which is why, guys, when you hear all these sensational stories that Kirk Cousins is going to be traded to the 49ers and Tony Romo is going to be traded to the Redskins, it's not about being right and accurate. It's about getting people to click. In the end, that's what we all want. I mean, believe me, I got to be honest. I love seeing, all of a sudden you do a video and you see the numbers flying out there. You see all these great comments. For me, it's a high. Oh my God, people like what I'm doing. For them, it's making money and, keeping their channel and stuff alive. It's why ESPN is going more internet savvy and less real reporting. They're getting rid of the people that actually know football because they're old, and they're getting people that are bigger mouths and stuff like that because it's about being seen and getting that 2-3 seconds to get somebody to stop and click. And you're not getting that from the old guard. So sadly, real sports journalism is going away. But Adam Schefter is supposedly a reliable source. He's supposed to be the guy that knows, the insider in the NFL. But it gets to be more of clickbait than anything else. They are Cowboys lovers. Thank you, Juan. I appreciate the love on the show. Again, guys, I'm still amazed. If you were a fan this time last year, you were one of about 400 people. The show has grown incredibly. We've got to be one of the fastest growing Dallas Cowboy blogs out there. If there's one growing faster, let me know who they are because I definitely want to subscribe. And I appreciate all the support and from all you guys. Can we not talk about ESPN? Okay, not a problem, Curtis. I'm just answering some questions that were out there. Is it too late to get a refund on my lucky jersey? Oh, I think it probably is too late on that one. McCown for 1 year, that's weird. Well, here's the thing. Joe Boo's facing a 6-game suspension, yeah, for rum abuse. Okay, that's possible. The lucky jersey, sorry, you're just out of luck on that one. Mario Williams, I think, is definitely done. Tobias, long in the tooth. Dwight Freeney, he may still have a little bit in the tank for about 4 or 5 games or so, but I don't think it's going to be a full season type of a deal. Who's worse, Ian Rappaport or Adam Schefter? I would put them both right about the same level. Ian Rappaport does a whole lot of BS. He was the one that started the whole Tony Romo to the Redskins and stuff like that. He's the one who did the Des Bryant had the police called to his house 6 times and everything else. I'd actually say Ian Rappaport may be worse than Adam Schefter. How you doing, Manuel? Thanks for the shout out there. I'm not so sure about Mario Williams. I actually think if you bring in a guy like Mario Williams, you're basically going to stunt the growth of some of your younger guys on there because I don't think that he's going to have that much left in the tank. Unfortunately, pass rushers don't get better with the age. They just get old.
One hell of a job, and the only thing else I got to say is, how about that Cowboys?
Thank you very much. Who would my ideal backup quarterback be? Andrew. Wow. That is a good question because the truth be told, if that goes down, I'm not sure there's anybody out there right now that would be somebody that's going to win you much games. I mean, when you look at what we had with Brandon Whedon, he was in our system for a year and a half, and ooh, that was bad. Then you had Matt Castle, a guy who had been to the playoffs, who was in the Pro Bowl, and he came in and he didn't do too much. I think our best hope is to keep Dak upright because there's nobody out there that I feel that's on the market that's going to do much for you. If Colin Kaepernick didn't have the baggage with him that he has, he would be your best bet. I wouldn't say RG3 that's out there because RG3, that's just a train wreck and that's a circus show. I certainly wouldn't say Johnny Manziel. Oh my God, Lord knows, with all the suspensions we already have. So at this point, I'm not sure it really matters who the backup quarterback is. Although it's still been my contention that Tony Romo is our emergency backup quarterback if Dak goes out for any length of time. I know he said that he is done with football, but let me set this scenario for you. Cowboys are in the middle to late part of the season. They say 6-4. Dak Prescott goes down and is going to be lost for the rest of the season. Jerry Jones calls up Tony and says, Tony, we're 6-4, son. Remember I told you about getting that ring? Here's your opportunity. You got Zeke Elliot, who's running his ass off with that great offensive line. I just need you to come in there for 6 games and then 3 to get to the Super Bowl. Are you telling me that Tony Romo would say, no, I'm done. I'm not coming back. Tony Romo is the backup quarterback. If the right situation came around, believe me, trust me, football players always want to play one more game. This old ass, with 2 bad knees, a bad back, and in pain on a daily basis, if I could go out there for 5 freaking plays, just 5, I'd do it. So I'll say Tony Romo is on that one. I saw something about what would I do for my son's birthday. I took him out to dinner to our favorite restaurant, Mike's American Grill. No, he doesn't own it, but I wish he did because I'd be there every Friday. Had a great piece of prime rib. He had a drunken ribeye. Oh, man, that food was great. But his birthday present is actually going with me out to training camp in a week and a half. I'm going to go see my daughter out there. We're going to have a great time at training camp, hopefully meet some of you fans and stuff, and cover the Cowboys. Zeke for 2,000-yard game changer? Hell no. I don't want to see that. As nice as that sounds, getting 2,000 yards, being part of that club, if you do that, you're killing a career. Take a look at Chris Johnson. Chris Johnson set the world on fire. He went out there, boom, had that 2,000-yard season, and all of a sudden, boom, went in the toilet. I don't want Zeke Elliott to be a one-season wonder, and then all of a sudden he's out of the league. I want to see him like Emmitt Smith year after year getting 1,200 to 1,500 yards and the team constantly competing for Super Bowl. You got to understand that when you end up putting all those carries and all those hits, you only have so many hits in your body. And with the offseason being what it is, it's very, very short and it's hard for that body to heal. So, no, I don't want to see Zeke Elliott going for 2,000 yards. Steve McNair was a beast, and unfortunately fell in with the wrong woman. And that's a cautionary tale to all of these NFL players. Dudes, you got to be careful. That woman may look fine as hell. She got the sexy panties on and everything else, but you got to watch your back. People are looking to take what you got, your money, your fame, whatever. They will use you and abuse you, and it's not about you. It's about getting what you have. Cole Beasley, backup quarterback. Okay. Dez will play quarterback if he has to. Let's hope we don't get to that. I didn't say, man, I'm sorry. I didn't see Troy Aikman's take on Dak's success and future potential. Unfortunately, this past week, I have not had much chance to watch anything television-wise. Literally have been working around the clock between the red brick house stuff that I'm trying to build, as well as my day job and stuff. I'm kind of taking some time tomorrow morning. I'm going to sleep late with Mama. I'm not going to get out of the bed anytime soon. In fact, when I finish doing this, I am actually going to go to bed and fall the F out because it's been a long, long week. So I'll definitely check out Troy Aikman's take on Dak Prescott. But I know Troy Aikman thinks highly of Dak Prescott. How would I rate our defense now? Younger, more athletic, and to be seen or to be determined. It's still a little early to tell what you got until they actually really start hitting in games. But I like what I see thus far. I think we have the opportunity for our quarterbacks, to definitely take another step from where we were last year. I think we're going to have guys who have the nose for the ball. For some guys, for whatever reason, they just are always around getting pickoffs. Okay. Other guys, they just never seem to get it. I think we've got those guys that just have it, or at least have a little more it than the guys we had before. So I'm feeling good about that. My key, though, is we've got to have guys step up in pass rushing. We've got to get a pass rush. Oh, game changer on the nipple ring. Oh, that one. That was one of those ones I'm kind of like, dude, why would you wear that in practice? In fact, dude, why are you wearing a nipple ring to begin with? What's up with that? I've had all kinds of injuries myself. I've had a nerve injury where my arm was just limp and numb. I've had my thumbnail ripped off all the way down in part of the cuticle with it. I've torn an ACL, and I've had some crazy injuries, but never a nipple ring. That's just crazy.
One hell of a job, and only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys?
Thank you, Lewis Buckley. Hope to visit a mobile man cave one day, either in the U.S. or UK, if that ever happens. Some ribs and some rum. Definitely. Thank you very much from the UK. You know, it's crazy how many people are around the world that are watching the show. I don't know if it's military people that are all over the place or why we have such a big following. But when I see people like in Argentina or England or France or China or in some of these countries, I can't even pronounce it. I've never even seen the name of it. Shout out to all of you guys in all those different countries. In fact, if you're in someplace crazy and different and all that, tell me where you guys are coming from so I can at least give you a shout out, because to me it's cool that you guys are enjoying the show and football around, and it just makes me happy that people are enjoying what we're doing. I still find it crazy that people want to listen to an old, ugly guy with a day job, but hey, whatever floats your boat, and I'm glad you're all here. What is the biggest improvement that we need, Sandman? The biggest improvement we need besides the pass rush is getting turnovers. Turnovers are always huge. Turnovers can be a 14-point swing. Turnovers are something we were missing last year. And if you look at our defense in the 2014 season, we were second in the NFL in takeaways. And that, my friend, is how you win football. That's how the defense turns around. The fortunate thing for our team was our offense didn't turn it over a lot. Had we had more turnovers, we would have been screwed. There's no way in the world we would have been 13-3. But if our defense can start getting takeaways, that's going to help the offense even more. To me, the best way to get takeaways also, too, is through the pass rush. To me, the pass rush is key in football, and it may be because I was a defensive lineman, and we don't get a whole lot of plug. We don't get a whole lot of love, but we are key, just like the offensive line is for the offense. So shout out to the defensive line. Michael Sam is better. Oh, come on, man. Come on, man. Sixers JT. Okay, that's a troll. Thank you, Joshua. I appreciate that. What kind of contract do I think Dak will get in 4 years? If he plays anything near what he played last year, oh, geez, he'll be doing well over $30 million a year. When you look at where we went because of Derek Carr's contract. When Kirk Cousins is about to get paid like crazy. The Redskins screwed up big time because either they're going to lose him, they're going to have to put a franchise tag on him again and pay him about $38 million, or they're going to have to open up the wallet because Derek Carr's contract is now put it out there. And when you see these big contracts, they seem huge right now. 3 years from now, it's going to look like a bargain. You know, people were talking about how much we were paying Tony Romo, but you think about Kirk Cousins getting 25. Yeah. So I think that Dak will be in the 30 million a year range by that time because that's where the market's heading. Football's growing, so the cap is going to be growing as well. And when you think about somebody like Odell Beckham who thinks that he wants to be the highest paid player in football, dude, get out of here with that. You're a wide receiver and you're a pain in the ass. You better be happy that you still have a job with the Giants because you're not getting $30 million a year. Sorry, it's not going to happen, dude. You might get a new contract, but it ain't going to be worth the biggest contract in the NFL. Oh, yeah, Dak Prescott's birthday is tomorrow. And his doppelganger, or his stunt person, as I like to say, Michaels, was yesterday. So it's kind of cool. Stay away from the monster drinks. um, Oh, Sam, man, I can't wait to chill in Cali. Oh, I need that break so bad. I've missed my daughter so much, and I can't wait to see our Cowboys and bring it to you guys. I hope you guys that I can bring you some great coverage and something different than what you see everywhere else. Guilford Hall, fans since 1980. Hey, thanks, man. I'm glad you're here. Prescott for president. um, Will I stream? I'll probably try and stream from Oxnard, but I don't know how the Wi-Fi will be there at practice. Okay. Curtis, I agree with you. We're 100% better than last year. I think, forget what you're hearing about the talking heads talking about our defense has lost so many players and stuff, veteran players and stuff, and number one draft pick and stuff like that. I think we're in better shape than we were. All right, Sam, man, I will see you soon. And, man, it's almost 10 o'clock already. The time always seems to fly when I'm with you guys, man. Damn. Carson Wentz. Okay, so we got the Carson Wentz jokes tonight. Check out Shango and Cali. Yeah, that would be cool to see Shango. Does he live in Cali? I don't know, but okay. Maybe he'll be out in training camp. Cruising 68. Where are we going to get a pass rush? We actually have some decent guys that are on the team, and it's going to be a matter of who steps up. With the suspensions we have, I think we're going to end up having DeMarcus Lawrence will be a starter, as well as Tyrone Crawford, and we'll have a good rotation in there. We've got a lot of good guys, but I still think we still need that one war daddy, so to speak, to really tie everything together and really take us to a whole other level. But we'll see how it goes, because you never know who's going to step up and become the guy. Oh, I agree with you 100%, Danny, because every day I get people that, damn, that looks like Dak. And he does look a bit like Dak. He doesn't like hearing that so much, but hey. Thank you, Gilbert Hall. I appreciate everybody that watches it. But it is already 10 o'clock, and we are done with another show. But at least, guys, the Dallas Cowboys are practicing, and next Thursday night, I know it's the Hall of Fame game. I know it's only preseason, but we're going to see guys lining up. We're going to see guys hitting, and we're going to see guys tackling. And I got to tell you, I'm as excited as I can be that the season is here. 12 days from now, we will be in California reporting. Hope you guys like the little clip of the going back to Cali video. If I have some time this weekend, hopefully I'll be able to get the whole thing together, and hopefully you guys will like it. So I appreciate all the support. If any of you guys want the shot glasses or the T-shirts or anything, go to my webpage. That's right up here. And click on it, and I'll be sure to get it. Those of you who just got your Jobu shirts or shot glasses, send me a picture of them because I'd love to see you with them. And as always, guys, thank you for all the support, all the love, and everything else. And keep spreading the mojo. And with that being said, I will see you guys Monday night at 9 o'clock Eastern. Have a great weekend.